Had the pleasure of spending some time with Josh Mejia with the Brownsville Community Improvement Corporation yesterday. It was a special day for the Rio Grande Valley and especially our family in Brownsville. Josh, tell me about the meeting that took place at the airport yesterday with folks from NASA, from the university, and also from your community improvement organization.
Well, thank you, Sergio. Yes, yesterday was an important day for the entire region. We had the ribbon-cutting ceremony for the Expanding Frontiers nonprofit organization, which will be tasked to begin unlocking new industries for entrepreneurs, startups, and for K-12 groups so that they know the skill sets that are going to be needed in order to begin exploring what we're now looking and to tapping into, which is the privatization of space exploration.
You've been spending a lot of time with folks from NASA and from the university that have a keen interest into all this. This Expanding Frontiers initiative, have they mentioned to you what type of business or jobs might come first as a result of SpaceX already here, and soon enough they'll be launching stuff into space? What might we see first?
Well, we have to look at the entire space exploration industry first, and what they've mentioned is that they are confident in finding jobs for the high-tech industry, whether that's software development for either space exploration or consumer use here on Earth. Another one of the important industries or sectors that they're looking at is into cargo shipments, space exploration. We had an amazing lady yesterday as one of our special guests who does space colonization efforts as well. So there's also new industries that revolve around that. So it's going to be an evolving trend. We're going to be working alongside with them as an economic development organization to understand and be able to expand on the opportunities that they will be bringing forth.
It's mind-blowing to think how Brownsville, the Rio Grande Valley, we are a part, and I don't know how big, but we're a part of it, of the, as you said, colonization of space, which means, of course, the moon will soon be resettled. There's a very aggressive campaign right now by Washington, by NASA, and private folks, by 2024 to send more people to the moon and establish a permanent presence on the moon. That's number one. That's around the corner. And then you've got people like Richard Branson, other folks talking about tourism, not only sending little shots up to the sky for being weightless for a while, but actually setting up hotels up there. Plenty of talk about that. And somehow we wound up being right in the middle of all this. Brownsville, Texas, maybe sending this payload into space. Tell me about the efforts at the university, also at Texas Southmost College, and other folks that are in the education business, Brownsville schools, everybody else, because they need to be a key part of this initiative to attract that business and keep this industry here.
Yeah, so part of the Expanding Frontiers project, we also have, as a city collectively, started the New Space Brownsville campaign, which will serve as the primary outreach campaign so that the K-12 organizations, like you mentioned, and higher educational institutions are aware of the programs and economic development strategies that we're performing as a city. Some of the K-12 organizations, such as the Brownsville Independent School District, have already signed up to begin working with Expanding Frontiers for summer training camps for students so that they are aware of what the opportunities will be occurring here in the city, as well as higher education institutions that are providing entrepreneurship resources to be able to help those who are looking to start up companies within those new industries begin to scale up from a seed funding level all the way to a venture capital level and beyond. So we're very excited. It's an open doors policy, like I like to mention, not only for this organization, but for ours as well, BCIC. Anybody who's willing to sign up to take advantage of this, remember, this is a regional impact. Houston is what we now are seeing as Old Space City. They're within a mile apart from each other in terms of getting from one end of the city to the other. We see the same thing here. The regional impact's going to be huge. And we're looking forward to all the partnerships that we'll have, not only regionally, but internationally as well, in terms of K-12 and higher educational institutions.
Well, you mentioned Old Space City, and hence the name New City.
That's right.
New Space City. Brownsville, Texas. New Space Brownsville is the name of your website and the marketing push. Expanding Frontiers as well, to make things easy, to try to set up all this business and complement the industry that's expanding here in South Texas for not only space exploration, payload delivery, all that, thanks to SpaceX being in the area now. How is Expanding Frontiers and New Space Brownsville, how is all this being funded? Is it the city of Brownsville?
Well, we have some resources that are being allocated on behalf of the city of Brownsville. Yesterday, we had the pleasure of having you at the old historic Pan American building right next to the Brownsville Airport, and we see some activity there as well with the new airport development that's occurring. BCIC, as an economic development organization, has recently approved funding for the organization in the amount of $650,000, and the public school system, BISD, they went ahead and pitched in the rest so that the total seed funding would equal to $1 million for this group. And we'll be watching carefully, working in tandem with all these different organizations to ensure that we are successful in making sure that we meet the objectives that have been placed on this organization. And NASA has been a very good partner to have as well, since they're also carefully monitoring, providing feedback, providing a lot of resources to ensure that we're also being successful and try to replicate what other communities are doing, such as the ones we had invited over from the West Coast and East Coast.
Josh Mejia with the Brownsville Community Improvement Group. Tell me about the incubator that you briefly mentioned yesterday would be in downtown Brownsville. How's that going to work?
Well, we do have several projects. We talked about Expanding Frontiers being one of the flagship products, but we also have another one called the eBridge Center for Business and Commercialization. And that will be held in downtown Brownsville. It's a 36,000 square foot building, which the first floor will house all fundamental resources needed for entrepreneurs to scale up their businesses. And on the second floor, you'll have these primary focused industries where we'll have partners such as Expanding Frontiers and other partners internationally to ensure that we create scalable businesses from innovations that are being found in certain industries in our region. This project, we're currently working alongside the Economic Development Administration to ensure we obtain some additional funding. We're in their final phases right now, and we're just finalizing an environmental assessment for it, and we're now moving into an RFQ for engineering and architectural. So the project is moving quite fast. It'll be a crucial component to ensure that whatever entrepreneurs come out of Expanding Frontiers or anywhere else have a home where they can scale up their businesses right away. So there are a lot of different components to this brand new ecosystem that we're building in the community. That's for everybody, regionally, statewide, internationally, you name it.
And on the education side, folks need to know this. What's taking place this summer? All these little camps and kids getting together, putting their teams and competing with each other. What's taking place right now in Brownsville?
That's right. So we have what's called the Space Camp for K-12 students. And again, this is one good example of an outreach effort where the students in the K-12 area, the human capital that we currently have, we're trying to tap into them and exposing them to the opportunities that are going to occur here in Brownsville. And that way, once they turn past the K-12 level, past graduating high school, they're able to still have that seed in their head so that they can come to Expanding Frontiers or work with the city to be able to expand on the ideas that they might have.
Okay.
Who knows, within 3 or 4 years, there will be opportunities for other companies that revolve around the space industry in Brownsville that they can also tap into. So that's some of the stuff that we're seeing right now. We also saw a Rockets and Rig program where the oil industry and the aerospace industry met together to be able to look into the technology that NASA has available for people and derive business opportunities or business ideas from those technologies.
Let's talk about that in the future. Josh, keep at it. Thank you so much for your efforts and everybody, leadership in Brownsville. We're continuing this and make sure we create the proper synergy to grow the space payload delivery and people delivery business in Brownsville and in the Valley. Josh Mejia with the Brownsville Community Improvement Group.